Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Genesis 2, verse 15. And Yahweh Elohim took the man and placed him in the Garden of Eden to work it and to guard it. Genesis 2, verse 15 is a verse of cosmic assignment. According to the Zohar, this is the moment when Adam's role in creation is clarified, not as a passive dweller in paradise, but as an active spiritual cultivator and protector. The garden is not just for delight, it is a mystical ecosystem entrusted to Adam as microcosm of the soul, requiring both tending and guarding. These two actions represent the dual spiritual path of elevation and protection, the inner and outer dimensions of divine service. The first phrase we have, Yahweh Elohim took the man, a divine placement with purpose. The Zohar emphasizes that Adam was not left to wander. The verb took implies divine selection and mission. Adam is placed intentionally and precisely within the garden, like a soul sent into a body or a spark planted in a vessel. He did not go to the garden by himself, but was placed there with sacred purpose. Zohar Bereshit 35b. This placement is the soul's descent into the world, not to escape it, but to elevate it. The second phrase from the verse we have, and placed him in the Garden of Eden, the soul in the Shekinah. The garden is symbolic of the Shekinah, the divine presence, the lower feminine aspect of divinity that contains and reflects all supernal light. To be placed in the garden means Adam is not just placed in a physical location, but into relationship with the Shekinah. The soul is nested within the presence, surrounded by divine radiance, and held in sacred trust. The garden becomes the spiritual womb, and Adam is the conscious point of engagement to elevate, harmonize, and illuminate. The next phrase we have, to work it. This is inner cultivation and transformation. This phrase refers to avodah, a word that in Kabbalah means both physical labor and spiritual service. The Zohar explains, Adam's task was to cultivate the garden, meaning to elevate the sparks of divine light hidden in creation. His work involved naming things, identifying essences, bringing order and purpose to the fragmented world. This mirrors our daily task of elevating the mundane, transforming food, speech, relationships, and thoughts into vessels for holiness. The next phrase we have, and to guard it. This is spiritual protection and boundary. The second task, shmirah, is guardianship. Not everything in the garden was to be touched or taken. Adam was to maintain boundaries, preserve sacred order, and shield the divine pattern from distortion. In the soul, this corresponds to discernment, self-restraint, and the protection of one's inner light. To serve is to ascend. To guard is to protect that ascent. Together, these two duties are the foundation of spiritual life. Avodah represents expansion, creativity, elevation. Shmirah represents discipline, integrity, and preservation. The Zoharic view behind this verse is the garden as inner sanctuary. The Zohar teaches that the garden is not external, it is the soul's own Eden. Each person is placed in a body, a life, a world with a personal inner garden of divine potential. Our mission is to work it through mitzvot, kindness, Torah, and guard it through intention, boundaries, and awareness. This verse is our calling to tend to the divine spark within and protect it from confusion, ego, and fragmentation. Genesis 2 verse 15, as explained by the Zohar, is the blueprint for the soul's divine mission, and God does not merely create Adam, He takes him, selects him, and places him with purpose in the Garden of Eden, which represents the Shekinah, the divine presence, and the interface between heaven and earth. Adam is assigned two sacred tasks to work it, representing spiritual cultivation, Torah study, mitzvot, and the elevation of the world through conscious living. To guard it, representing spiritual discipline, self-boundaries, protection of holiness, and preserving divine intention. These twin paths mirror the Sephirot of Netzach and Hod, or Tiferet and Geburah, one expanding outward in light, the other guarding the integrity of that light. Ultimately, this verse is about you. Your life is the garden. Your soul has been planted within it. Every action you take is either a step forward toward working and guarding the divine flow, or allowing entropy to reclaim the space. This is not just a story about Eden, it is our story. Our soul has been placed with intention. Now, will you work it? Will you guard it? That's it for today. Thank you very much for your donation. Be blessed, everyone, and I will see you on the next episode.